But there are some people in this country who cannot afford another €3 a week. I mean, you accept that, don't you?
I do. Look, I've no doubt that for quite a number of people in the country, water charges are another imposition, another bill that isn't welcome.
But the point is that they can't afford it. They're at the end of their tether. They cannot afford to pay water charges. Do you accept that?
I've set that may be the case for some people, but bear in mind, long before the water charges come in, the budget measures will come in, which involve reductions in income tax, reductions in the USC, increases in child benefits. So if you take all those measures together, certainly anybody who's at work next year, all things being equal, will be slightly better off. Now you can take other factors into account, like inflation and so on. You may say otherwise, but that all needs to be taken into account. But I don't doubt for a second that there aren't people who struggle to pay their bills. But that applies to electricity as well. That applies to gas. Nobody would argue that those should be free or funded through other people's taxation.
I mean, do you regret your comments anyway, did it actually really bother you to see people on the streets about an issue like that?
No, look, what bothered me that day was that Ars Tracta had been on RT the night before. I'd spent the morning dealing with it and was actually on the radio to talk about the kind of abuse that was going on in at least one of our care homes. That's what was bothering me, actually, not so much the protests about water. But interesting, I've got a very mixed response to those comments. A lot of people thought that what I was saying was true. I think even TheJournal.ie said it was ill-timed, but not untrue, and a lot of people have said that. And at the same time, which kind of has been interesting, is other people have come back to me to say, yeah, you're right, it isn't about water, we're protesting about this, that, the other thing, and 7 or 8 other matters. And I think that's a problem, actually, for the organisers and the opposition, is that as the number of people involved in the protests falls, the number of issues they're protesting about increases, and there's a lack of coherence there, and certainly there's a lack of solutions. You'll hear the same people saying that we shouldn't have to pay water charges, but we should have higher progressive taxation. So they're protesting, for less charges on the one hand and higher taxes on the other, and it's just not credible to say that other people should pay.